Hi guys, welcome back, welcome aboard, welcome home. As always, completely and totally dependent on where you are in relation to these messages, this channel, these energies, and this week. So let's have a conversation about what's up this week. Of course, this week being the 22nd of August through the 28th of August 2022. So we start out with the Cancer Moon squaring Jupiter, retrograding in Aries in the morning. Then we have a beautiful trine between Virgo Mercury and a Capricorn Pluto, also retrograding. And in the evening, like around bedtime-ish, the sun moves into Virgo. So here's the deal. That moon square Jupiter asks you to get your house in order, right? And the house that we're talking about is the inner realm, right? So this is the inner work, right? And when we're talking about Jupiter, we're talking about your expansion, your growth, your opportunity and availability to wisdom. So, hello. With the Cancer Moon, we want to know, does this spark joy in your life, right? Do you feel safe? These are questions, right, that we need to ask ourselves. What are we amplifying, right? Jupiter being the amplifier of everything. So what are you amplifying? That Virgo Mercury trining Capricorn Pluto, this is about your deepest expressions, right? Whatever that might mean to you. These are also trining Mars, newly in Gemini. So here's the deal. That's about limitless potential, right? And here's the deal. Since we have a Gemini Mars and the moon moves, or the sun, I'm sorry, moves into Virgo at bedtime, you have an option, right? Virgo, Gemini, these energies have polarity to them, right? So what are you going to focus on, right? You can either choose to focus on the potential, the limitlessness, the functionality, the accomplishment, or you can spiral down into the details. The thing is, focus on one thing at a time, right? And resist the urge to judge how anything else comes into your periphery. Just keep reminding yourself, this is what I'm doing now. This is what I'm doing now. This is what I'm doing now. Mars is in Gemini for a really long time. So keep reminding yourself of that. This sun in Virgo, Virgo season is a beautiful time to practice that depth of focus, right? So good luck with that. On Tuesday, the 23rd, the Cancer Moon squares Chiron, sextiles Uranus, then quincunxes Saturn and trines Neptune, both of which are in retrograde, of course. So that square to Chiron wants you to look at what you have internalized, right? Because of course that Cancer Moon is very protective, right? And it's very self-protective. And so how can you explore more deeply and more safely in order to really begin to shift and heal? So with that sextile to Uranus, allow for your sudden shifts in consciousness and for sudden shifts in your experience, right? These are your call. Things can take as little time or as much time as you believe they will. So witness your shift in perfect timing. Right. And don't let, what's the word I'd like to use here? Don't let your internal state affect your productivity. Okay, resist that urge to feel that kind of wallowy, sort of stuck in the mud kind of energy. Resist that urge, especially today. with that, the moon's trine to Neptune at bedtime, I would say preload your dream time. You can witness some beautiful things when you do that. And the reason is because very early in the morning on Wednesday, the 24th, we have the moon opposing Pluto, right? And then she will also sextile Mercury. And then the moon moves into Leo. And not very long after that, Uranus moves retrograde, which is interesting, at 18 Taurus, right? And Venus in Leo will trine Chiron. And then the Leo moon sextiles Mars and trines Jupiter. Now here's the deal. If you preloaded your dream time, because we have that moon opposition to Pluto and sextiling Mercury, what you're looking for, what you're angling for are Earth-based solutions, right? 3D solutions, okay? So call it in, right? Call it in. That Leo moon can make things feel very big and very hot. And that Uranus retrograde asks you, be in awareness of your conscious and subconscious, right? You've done a lot of work. So allow the internal shifts, right? Start, because we are now deep into retrograde season. So this is all about the internal work. It's all about the internal shifting. Begin now to act as if, right? Especially after Uranus moves retrograde. So we've got that beautiful Venus trining Chiron, right? How are you really walking in your healing, health, and wholeness? And then we have the Leo, the Leo moon sextiling Mars and trining Jupiter. So if you can allow the shifts, right? If you can act as if, then here's the deal. You get to be and become who you wish by what you are doing. And here's the deal. The thing is, what you wish is an illusion. What you are doing is the reality. So witness that ability to kind of create that elasticity in your identity, right? On Thursday, the Leo moon trines Chiron, conjunct Venus. Mercury will move into Libra, and the moon in Leo squares brand newly retrograding Uranus. So here's the deal. Your work pays off in your small victories today. So feel into them, right? As the moon cozies up to Venus, witness your grandeur, witness your splendor, and feel how that feels for you. Allow those feelings to be a marker, right? Set them in somehow, whether it's through one of your senses, like this moment tastes like, this moment sounds like, this moment smells like, right? Cement it into your conscious experience and allow those victories to become part of your experience. And as Mercury moves into Libra, right? This is about balanced communication and balanced expression, right? So resist the urge to sublimate your own requirements, right? Resist the urge to sublimate your own feelings. And as the moon squares newly retrograde Uranus, take this as a moment of inner rebalancing, right? Uranus is an active energy. So allow that moon in Leo to set that energy on fire, to light your heart if that's what you require. On Friday, the Leo moon quincunxes both Neptune and Pluto, both retrograding. And then the moon moves into Virgo, and Venus in Leo squares Uranus, just like the moon did. So here's the deal. Today, Friday, the 26th of August, may feel a little bit out of sorts, a little bit disconcerting, a little bit discordant. Sometimes that friction is required, right? So the moon in Leo quincunxing both Neptune and Pluto in retrograde. Here's the deal. Does your inner experience resonate with your outer experience? Does it? Does it resonate on the surface? Does it resonate at depth? Here's the thing. You already know the answer to that question. And especially as the moon moves into Virgo, right? You know, this is about service. This is about self-service. This is about how we are walking our talk, right? So the other thing is, this is a day of building energies, right? With Venus squaring Uranus. And then we're getting ready for, on Saturday, very early morning, a Sun square Mars, and then the Virgo New Moon on Saturday. So you might feel this energy as kind of unstable or dissatisfied. You might feel that sort of like, I want to flip tables kind of energy, right? So here's the deal. Put that energy to use in some way. Find a way to be in service to yourself, to someone else. It doesn't really matter, but find a way to be in service from the depths, right? Which is a beautiful thing. So put that energy to use, because otherwise it can kind of spin out of control and be a little incendiary, right? On Saturday, the 27th of August, like I said, we have a very, very early Sun square Mars. Then the moon in Virgo squares Venus, or I'm sorry, squares Mars in Gemini. And then we have a brand new moon, right, for Virgo. And all this happens, by the way, before 3:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. So that's a lot of motion while you're still sleeping. And then later on in the morning, the moon quincunxes Jupiter. So here's the deal. The sun squaring Mars. And again, this is that Gemini and Virgo energies. So you may feel hypersensitive. You may feel hypercritical. The key is to slip into your power, right? We've got Gemini energy, which is limitlessness, right? It's available to you. How you choose it is up to you. We've got Virgo energy, which again, this is very stable, very grounded, very in service, very get shit done. How you experience that is up to you. We've got the sun, which is all about your identity, Mars, which is all about your accomplishment. So here's the deal. This new moon in Virgo intensifies your limitlessness, right? It intensifies the limitlessness of your own potency and reminds you that you are pure potential. So create that, create from that, right? And as that, about 6 hours after the new moon, we've got that beautiful quincunx to Jupiter asking you, what are you amplifying? What are you amplifying? Be specific, because you're going to feel the consequences of those intentions for at least 2 weeks. So be specific, be clear about your intentions, right? In terms of your potency and your potential and your power. And on Sunday, the Virgo moon quincunxes both Chiron and Saturn in retrograde. Venus opposes Saturn, the moon opposes Neptune, and then the moon trines Capricorn. Pluto in Capricorn. So it's a busy day. It's a challenging day. And here's the deal. I don't believe that challenging is a bad thing, right? It's just a thing that must be handled. And so how you handle it is up to you. So stay focused on your intended creation, right? Stay focused on your 3D experience. Stay focused on your sensual life, right? What you see, hear, taste, smell, feel, right? How are you experiencing those things? And what is required to actually manifest it, right? It's okay to dream deep and wide, big time, right? We know this. It's okay to dream deep and wide. And understand that the places that you're out of sync will absolutely be revealed to you. Absolutely. Absolutely. And whether or not you focus on how far that distance is from you, or whether you focus on how you can lean into it to narrow the gap, that's what's going to create your state. And that's what's going to create the next step for you. So when you find the places where you are out of sync with whatever it is that you wish to be experiencing, whatever you feel like it's your desire, whatever you can vision that isn't in your experience, focusing on the, oh my gosh, I don't have that, is definitely going to create a state of amplification, right? We talked about those intentions, of amplification of what you're not looking for. So if you can simply focus on the yet space, right? Ooh, that's coming. It's on the way. This is already, wow, okay, thank you. This is already mine. It's already in my field, right? Whether or not it pops up in the 3D, I mean, that's a yet, right? And so how do we experience it? That's up to you. But remember that how you choose to put that perspective down onto the ground of your 3D life is what's going to create your state. Let's talk. Monday. This is that beautiful day where we talked about getting your internal house in order, right? The moon squares Jupiter, Mercury trines Pluto, and the sun moves into Virgo. Are you focusing? Look, come on. We get the King of Pentacles, we get the Four of Pentacles. Are we focusing on limitlessness, or are we focusing on the details? Are we focusing on limitlessness, or are we focusing on the details? Are we focusing our abundance, or are we focusing on our scarcity? There could not be a better pair for this day. There just couldn't. Make your choice. Make your choice. Tuesday, we talked about, we've got the, first of all, beautiful Ace of Cups, Three of Pentacles. So this is about love, and it's about how you bring emotional balance and satisfaction and fulfillment, and that experience, that feeling, that depth of love, right, in your experience. And then we got the Three of Pentacles, which is about collaboration. So this is about our internalized wounds. How can you experience more deeply and safely in order to heal? How can you explore more deeply and safely in order to heal? What can you shift, right? And don't let your state affect your productivity. Don't let your state affect your productivity. Resist that urge. Dig into the love. Always lean into the love, right? That's what's really going to get it. It's what's going to allow you to accomplish the most, right? So it's all about collaboration, how you allow others into your experience. On Wednesday, we've got the Four of Cups, right? This is kind of that looking away. We've got the moon, which is all about what is hidden, right? What is unspoken, what is perhaps unrecognized. And so in this Four of Cups, we witness our emotional availability or unavailability, right? So this is about, we talked about it, being aware of your conscious and subconscious. And can you allow for the internal shifts? Can you act as if, right? Can you allow yourself to live in the solutions instead of the problems? That's a great question. And with Uranus moving into retrograde, we want to look at that. We want to look at our internal state. We want to look at how we can shift our heart, mind, soul, so that we can act as if, so that we can witness who we want to be through what we are doing, right? If you're looking away, if you're choosing to avoid your emotional state, you're forever going to be bored. You're forever going to be dissatisfied. You're forever going to be stuck in this kind of space of ennui. Nothing is good enough. Nothing is good enough. Nothing is good enough. But if you can allow yourself to dive into that, yes, this is what I'm doing and it is perfect, and act as if, right? Those cups are all full no matter what, which guess what? They are. You know, that's about your awareness. It's about what permission you give yourself. On Thursday, we've got the Ten of Swords and we've got the Empress. Look, what a gorgeous, gorgeous day, isn't it? So this is about talking about work paying off in small victories, right? Small victories mean that you have had a failure and you've learned something and you've done something a different way. And as we feel into those, right, and as we talked about this, the moon conjuncts Venus in Leo, witnessing your own splendor, witnessing your own grandeur, but allowing those things to be a marker for you and to you in the future, right? And really focus on that balanced communication, that harmony, resisting the urge to sublimate yourself and your own requirements. We've got the Ten of Swords, right? This is that energy that says no more. No more. Whether it's your own ideas or an external source of something, right? And whether or not there isn't actually an external source of something, we could have a long conversation about that. But this is about drawing a line in the sand and saying, no, I'm done with this. And the Empress gives you the power to create whatever you want in that state, right? When you got fertilizer, the question is, what are you going to plant? Well, the Empress is going to let you grow whatever you want. And as the moon squares Uranus, brand newly retrograding, this is about that inner rebalancing, allowing anything that's not serving you to shift right out, and knowing that in its place, something will grow. So plant appropriately, right? Witness yourself in your own splendor and plant appropriately. Who are you serving, right? Past you or future you? Who you've been? Whose story is that? Or what you want, right? Whose story is that? I love this pair already, by the way, especially coming out of this day and all of this energy. So on Friday, right, we talk about how it might feel a little jangly, a little off on Friday the 26th. We are witnessing those big quincunxes from the moon to Neptune and Pluto. And then the moon moves into Virgo to join the sun. And late in the evening, we have that beautiful Venus square to Uranus. So, does your inner experience resonate? What is happening as you build? Where are you unstable? Where are you dissatisfied? Where do you want to flip tables? She knows. She knows. Let her use that sword of truth, right? We talked about put this energy to use in light of and through the lens of your highest emotional experience, right? We have that, I mean, Neptune is retrograde in Pisces. This puts you in touch with the depth of your experience. Allow that to be your guiding light. Allow that to show you where to use that sword of truth. And this is about mastering that energy, right? This is not about reckless clearing. It is not about flipping tables. It's about identification. It's about finding the balance and alignment of your inner and outer experience. What are you doing? And is it serving you? What are you doing and is it resonant? What are you doing and is it aligned? And in any place where that's not true, we are being given opportunities all the time to shift them. But this week is really putting you in alignment with where those places are. So on Saturday, this is our Virgo New Moon. This is so much motion before 3:30 in the morning, right? The sun square Mars, the moon square Mars. Of course, we have wands, and then new moon, right? And then we quincunx Jupiter in Aries. So of course, tons of fire, tons of motion. So we have the page and the knight of wands. So this is about what comes into your experience, right? In terms of passion and inspiration and what's going to light you up, right? We have the sun and the moon both squaring Mars and then conjuncting one another for that Virgo new moon. What lights you up? How are you in deep service? Where are you creating yourself as your highest expression of what is possible, right? Step into your power. We talked about this as that Virgo, Gemini, Sun, Mars energy of stability and limitlessness, creating your identity through your accomplishment. You are your own potency, right? Create that and be clear about it, right? The Knight of Wands can be reckless energy. The Page of Wands offers you clarity. The Knight of Wands can be reckless. The Page offers you clarity. So remember that we talked about this as being clear, because the consequences will be felt. So just witness it in your own clarity. On Sunday, we have the Knight of Swords and the Chariot. Okay, so we're bouncing off of these, right? This is our little progression here, which is lovely. I absolutely dig it. So the Chariot, which is all about balanced forward motion, right? This is love and logic. This is head and heart. This is the balance, right? This is how we move safely and correctly, right? By balancing those two so we don't veer off one way or the other. We're moving forward in motion. The Page of Swords is all about forward motion, clearly following the right idea, right with a capital R. And that only means right for you. And we talked about this as a day to be a little bit of challenged, right? To stay focused on your intended creation, on your 3D experience, on your life, and what is required to manifest it, right? We talked about how the out of sync places will be revealed. Of course they will. You'll be veering off course. You will not be in that true north alignment. So whether or not you focus on where your problem areas are, or what your realigned trajectory is, right? Finding that space of yet and allowing it to pull you forward, show you the next step, right? You have that light. You have that light. There's nothing that can get in your way except your, the word I want to use is choosing not to choose, right? I mean, we've got the moon, we've got the eye, right? So where are you allowing yourself to be pulled forward, or where are you trying to wrangle your alignment, right? All you have to do is allow yourself to be magnetized to that next best step, that next right place. Knowing that, of course, it is always for you. Everything is always for you. There's no piece of your journey that's not for you. And there's a lot of people that don't like those words. But the fact of the matter is that you are a sovereign creator unless you choose to allow someone else to direct you. You are a sovereign creator unless you choose to allow someone else to direct you. Those are your choices, right? Look at this. Your inner light will guide you. Look at him. Could he be any sweeter? Gosh, I love this deck so much. All right. Let's see what they have to say about this. Light your own torch now and use this inner light to guide you on the path. Your inner light will illuminate the stony ground, loose rocks and thorns and ditches along the way. Keep your inner light burning bright, right? And trust that the story unfolding beneath your feet is yours. No one else can light your way. It is the light in your heart that will give way to the greatest guidance when all about you falls into darkness. You may feel alone at present, but know that others can see your light and the way you are showing. The torch that you bear will become the light that inspires others to step out of the crowd and follow the radiance of their soul. You are a way shower. No kidding. And you know how you're a way shower? By following your own alignment, by choosing your own path every time, by telling your own story, by checking your alignment over and over again, and then acting as if you are already there, right? Woo. I believe we will have 2 conversations this week about Uranus retrograde, because that's really the fullness of our eclipse season, even though we have that Mercury retrograde coming up. and the Virgo New Moon, because these are big deals, y'all. At any rate, no matter what you do, stay in alignment, stay focused, and enjoy your big, giant blessings. Take care.